Welcome back to Marriage with the Martins.
Hey guys.
We're going to hit it again today. We have something awesome to talk about, and we're going to talk about time.
Yay.
The one word that women scream for across the nations. I want time with my husband. I want time in our relationship. I want to feel loved. I want to feel adored and appreciated. I want time with my man. Okay, so we're going to talk about time today. All right, first I have to talk to my fellas. Okay, first, anything that you have that is of value to you, anything that you have or own is going to require maintenance. Okay, it doesn't matter if it's your house, your car, your job. It requires maintenance to make it work right, to make it work well, and for it to be in working order. You have to work on it. And the same thing goes in your relationship with time with your wife. I don't think I've heard any request more than the fact that a woman wants time with her man. And for our single women, the fact that they don't have one, they really are screaming for time with some loving man that cares for them. Time is number one. It's a number one thing that women want. And let's put it this way. You asked her to marry you. And so you can't ask a woman to come and be a part of your life, to make love to you, to kiss you, to be there for you to cook for her, and for you to love each other. And then when it's time to spend that quality time together where it's just you and her, you want to go out with your boys, you want to play basketball, do Final Four, you want to play fantasy football, etc. You know, we have to spend time with our ladies. So how do you feel about that?
I think you're absolutely right.
Am I?
You're
Oh,
absolutely
good.
on it.
I thought I was wrong.
No,
Oh,
no,
good,
you
good.
are. You're on
All
track.
right. All right.
Yeah, I don't think that there, as you said, there isn't a currency that is more valuable to a woman than her having her husband spend time with her, because what it says is, as you've mentioned before, is you are valuable to me. And I understand. There is a quote that circulates from time to time. It says, "You can have a broke man, and you can have a busy man."
A broke man and a busy man. Okay.
Yeah. And we don't want either. You know? we don't want either. We don't want a broke man. We definitely understand we have to work and you have responsibilities. We definitely understand business. But in the midst of all of that, we still want you to just take time and say, wait a minute, my wife is there,
Yeah, so guys, hear that from a woman's heart.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you have a job where you're making $200,000 a year, traveling back and forth to France, Spain, Paris, and whatever other countries there are. If you bring home all the bread and she takes care of the home, it doesn't matter. She's still going to want to spend time with you. And frankly, if you really love your wife, you're going to want to spend time with her. And so we have a couple of things we want you to check right quick. Not just our guys, but we're speaking to both the men and women. Some things you have to check when the time is not right in the relationship.
That's good.
Number one is, if you are not able to find time to spend together as a couple, to show each other love and just to have a good time, you have to check your relationship. It's possible somebody on one or the other side doesn't want the relationship. And so when you find that, at least you as a man, you're not finding a way to spend time with your wife, and you're finding every excuse, you want to stay late at work. You want to continue to go out with your boys, and you want to continue to do things as if you were single and not put that time forth in your marriage. You have to check, do you even really want to be there? That's a hard question to ask, but it's better to ask it early than it is to ask it late. And the same thing for you as a wife. If you guys are coming home and sitting in the driveway for 10, 15 minutes when you pull up, something may be wrong with your relationship. Or, maybe you're so dogged out and tired and the kids are in there, and I've been there. You don't want to go inside because it's like, as soon as I come in, you know what it is. But anyway, you have to put that good time in. And so, number one, if there's a problem in your relationship, you may not put the time in that you should.
There is no relationship that is perfect, no matter how.
Except ours.
Yeah, well, I agree. Okay. I agree, but there's no relationship that doesn't require maintenance from time to time. Of course, if you're having issues that require counseling, we definitely would suggest that you go and get that taken care of. But one of the things that's indicative of problems in your relationship, as you said, is if you don't even want to come home. If you don't even want to come home.
Or if you're in the other room and he's in one room and she's in the other room and neither one of them want to go to the other room and the house is just silent.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Oh my God, I've heard many a divorcee talk about that stage where you're both in the house, but it's like you're both not in the house. And nobody wants to go and see the other one. When the house is silent,
that's
you have to check your relationship. And check it way before it gets silent. You know, you were talking about going to counseling. You know, counseling is not for the crazy. Counseling is not for the weak and for the stupid and the unwise. Counseling is for those who are wise. It is for those who want to make their relationship work. What's dumb is to have problems in your relationship, to not be able to get along together, having all these issues, and you can't get through an argument or a discussion without nearly breaking each other's heads open. It's time to go to counseling. Number 2, if you're not spending time, I'm speaking to men right now, if you're not taking time to spend with your woman, to women too, matter of fact, let's say it's for both. If you recognize that you as a man, or you recognize as a woman that your man is not wanting to spend time in your relationship, or at least that's what it seems like, you may want to check his values. A man, a brother, you may want to check your values. Is spending time with your wife important to you? You'll make time for what's important to you. Like we talked about sports, fantasy football, and all the different things that we guys like to do. Yes. And there are going to be so many wives sitting where? What did the wives do when people are playing football?
We're mad.
You're mad? What about when they're going golfing and stuff?
We're mad.
But yeah, so...
No, not really.
Yes, y'all are. But if you find yourself in a situation where you're not taking the time to spend with your wife, and you find that you don't really think it's as important as your fantasy football or seeing the game every Sunday, you see the game every Sunday, but you're not seeing your wife during the week and really making her feel that love, check your values.
Listen, and let me tell you, we love football. Like, we're MMA fans, okay?
Yeah, yes, sir.
We do love sports, so we're definitely not saying, choose, throw away your sports and just concentrate on your wife. But listen, if you know football is coming on Sunday,
Saturday,
then, Monday through Saturday, you better be paying us some attention, or we're not going to cook you wings.
Dog. Okay, number 3. You got to check your maturity, guys. A real man recognizes where he should be and when he should be there. And like I said before, you asked her to marry you. So if you asked her to marry you and you promised this woman your life, you promised her love, you promised her romance, you cannot by any means put other things before her that aren't as important as her. And if you found that your values are out of line, but you're not doing anything to get those values put back in the right place, you have to check your maturity. When you're married, you're a married man. You can't do what you did when you were single. And same thing for you ladies.
Very, very important for a man to check his maturity level. Listen, when you are married, there are certain things that you did as a single man that is just not going to fly as a married man. If you're staying out late with your boys, just because...
Boys. And that tells you right there where you really are. What do you mean you're boys and you're a grown man with a wife and maybe even kids? You're a man now.
Right. Well, even on the flip side, if you are a minister and you're staying at church, all day, and you're having meetings all day, and your wife is constantly, put on the back burner, look, we'll wait for 2 weeks, or, we'll wait for 3 weeks. Even that is not right. Even that is a sign of immaturity.
Especially if the 2 weeks have passed by and you've said, we're going to go out to dinner, baby.
Yeah.
And then the 2 weeks is up,
waiting. And
then you don't do it.
Yeah. yeah, don't do that.
Yeah.
Like, don't do that. But yeah, it is a sign of immaturity when you don't recognize that there are certain things that was permissible, even allowable as a single man, that may not be necessarily permissible in the same space of time or in the way that it was allowed as a single man. Of course, you definitely need leisure. You definitely need time to connect with people outside of your marriage. We're not saying that, but there has to be a balance. It shouldn't be where you're giving, to everybody else, but you're withdrawing from your spouse. That causes problems.
So here it is. Are you a man or are you a boy?
Yeah.
A man takes care of the woman that he loves and takes care of his relationship, shows that he values that relationship. That's number 3.
Yeah.
Number 4, ladies, we can't leave you out. You have to check your maturity.
Oh, God, that's true.
Because if I had a dime for every time we talk to someone where the woman was like, my man, he doesn't want to spend any time with me. He doesn't value me, and he doesn't try to show me that he loves me. But the man is working like a dog. And he has to. Okay, and he's having to because of the job that he has. And he is taking her out every once in a while, but maybe it's not as much as she wants him to take him out. But the man is really having to take care of business. Sometimes it can be that the woman has not grown up and matured enough in her own personal relationship and matured enough in her own life and has enough stuff of grown woman stuff to do for herself that she's waiting on him to fulfill her. And see, you're not 10 anymore, where you can come pulling your parents and entertain me, mom, entertain me, dad. You're a grown woman now. So when he's not around, you should be handling your business. And then you guys can come together again for that real love. If he's working and taking care of things, and then you're working as well, and maybe all the time is not lining up the way you want to, but then you're disgruntled about it, you might have to check your maturity.
Yeah, especially for women. Listen, this statement may make a lot of women uncomfortable. It may make you upset. But you really have no rights, in my opinion, to demand anything from your husband if you're not doing anything yourself. And I find that a lot of men are so depleted because they are constantly drawn on. If they're at work,
at home.
It's always, give me something, do this. It's always something. And as soon as he gets in the house, it's like, well, so-and-so went on vacation. Why we can't go on vacation? But are you working? You know what I mean? Like, are you doing anything to help contribute to the family? Or are you just beating this man down? So I think definitely you've got to be a woman on the move. You can't just be a woman where you're always with your hands out. Take me out. Take me to dinner. I don't want to cook. Your husband should never ever come home and you're not working and his house is not clean.
Same thing if the roles are reversed.
If the roles are reversed, because now
same thing.
The roles are reversed
in many households.
In many households, and that's okay. But if you are a husband and you're not working and your primary job is to take care of the family, don't let your wife come home and you don't have dinner, or the floor's not vacuumed, or the bathroom's a mess. We've got to go back to the things that are just necessary to keep a relationship together. It is not just love that keeps a relationship
Absolutely
together.
not.
It is not just attraction that keeps relationships together. It is, you've got to do the hard work. And it's not easy. That word hard implies that it's not easy all the time. You're not always going to feel like, oh, let me get up and clean this house top to bottom. One celebrity, now let me tell you, I'm a little ratchet sometimes, okay? No, I'm not ratchet, but I do like ratchet TV every now and then.
Oh, yes. I mean, I like it.
Yes, he does.
Okay.
We both do.
It's funny.
But one of the things that I admire about Coco and Ice-T, a lot of people don't even really know who they are. Maybe you do, but Ice-T is a rapper, and Coco is his wife. And they used to have this reality show. And Coco, Ice-T would go out and he would work. And every time, he came home, Coco would be in her little lingerie and she'd be dusting and, vacuuming and taking care of the animals and handling her business, for their outside business. And let me tell you, a lot of times we as Christians, we lose the art of just being able to take care of family, to take care of our households, to still be sexy. It's a lot, okay? It's a lot being a wife, and you can do it, but you've got to be committed to it. Just as your husband is committed to providing for you and doing the things that's necessary to keep your household afloat, you've also got to be committed to do your part as well.
And look, that's number 3 and 4, maturity on both sides. So many things were said from top to bottom about maturity in that section there, but maturity, 3 and 4. 5th one, final one, but it's not the least one. Your schedules. Look, today, in these times, when the kids have to be at football practice, cheerleading practice, band practice, swim, gymnastics, you have to go to work, groceries have to be bought, bills have to be paid, grass has to be cut, all kinds of things have to happen. And if you don't schedule the time to show each other love and schedule the time to make sure you spend quality time together, it probably isn't going to happen. It's not that you don't love your wife. It's not that you don't love your husband. It's not that you're not mature, that you're being immature. It's not that she's being immature. It's simply and plainly a matter of administration and a matter of personal leadership and relationship leadership. You have to be able to schedule time together, because with the way things are going in life, ups and downs, sideways, and your bosses want your blood, and your children want your blood. So you have to schedule it in. Get your calendar, just like you have to go to work from 8 to 5 or 9 to 5. On Saturday, on Friday, once a month, twice a month, we're going out. Kids are going to be dumped somewhere. We don't even care where they're going to be dumped at, but they're going to be dumped somewhere, and we're going to spend time together. Pillow time at night, whatever. I love pillow time too.
Oh my God, I love
Isn't pillow time good?
Yes.
Yeah.
Pillow time.
So
and it leads to other things.
It does. Look, pillow time, brother. Pillow time. Do you hear what I'm saying to you? But okay, over from there. It's like,
pillow time is, a lot of times, couples think that you have to do like this big grandiose thing, I gotta stop and take her to Chateau Lawn or something like that. But no, for women, conversation is everything. Conversation is everything, because a lot of times, especially if you're a stay-at-home mom, you wear one hat, mommy. I'm in mommy mode, and a lot of times that's what burns women out. You find women, they have this question, which I had, honestly, when our kids were really, really small, and I was staying home with them, and I'm talking about like babies, like we had 3 babies, like back to back, and I would oftentimes ask myself, like, who am I? And I needed the time for Shelton to pour back into me and to remind me, you were more than a mom. And I think that is so important. And also, you're more than a wife. And I think that actually makes you a better wife when you have that space to be able to explore just the responsibility of a man to schedule time with you. You also have to, schedule time with your husband. For me, like women, period, we wear many hats. You're in the professional field. You have to come home, you have to cook, you got to clean, you got to do homework, you got to do all of these things. And even though those are shared responsibilities, if you're in a large family, it still pulls from the both of us. And just because your man doesn't say, pencil in, a date week this week, you do it, And another thing
and men love that, actually.
Yeah, they.
Because it's like you come home, look, we're going out. I don't know. It's just something about when your woman.
It's proactive.
Yeah, it feels good. It's like, okay, my wife loves me too. Yeah. I know it's traditional for the man to want to take the woman out, the man to take responsibility to show all the love and bring all the flowers and stuff. But there are times when my wife just has shown up at my job with a lunch, or has said, "Baby, no, we're going out. We're going out today. I got somewhere special for you to go." And come home with little cards and a treasure. Had to do the scavenger hunt or something like that. It made me guess different things. I mean, I felt so good.
Yeah.
So it's good, even as a woman. Don't wait all the time for your man to schedule it. If you want to spend time with your man and maybe he hasn't scheduled it yet, you pencil it in and say, he comes home from work. I already have everything ready. It's like, here's your suit, here's your tie. We're going to the club. We're going to this spot. It's just me and you, candlelight dinner, and it's it's good. It feels good.
Yeah, because a lot of times men just have a lot on their plates and they just don't think about it. So it's the responsibility of both partners to schedule time with each other, because like you said, it's very important for me to spend time with him, and I've definitely been in seasons where he didn't have it. And so you have to understand that when your husband is in a season where he just does not have the time, you gotta just understand.
Oh, can I say something about that?
Yeah.
There was a season where I was working, 12, 14-hour days on my job. I mean, working like crazy. And when I got done working, I was doing ministry stuff, taking care of ministry things to help others at our church. And when I tell you I was worn out, the last thing on my mind was a date. The last thing on my mind was trying to spend time and pillow talk. I wanted to drop dead when I got in the bed. I didn't want to do anything. But my wife took time one day when I came home and just treated me. And it wasn't that I didn't love her, and so then I didn't try to schedule time for us to go on a date and do that. Man, I was worn to the bone. I was worn down to the bone marrow. But then my wife pulled out all the stops. It was like, "Baby, I got you. I'm looking out for you. I love you. I see what you're doing. I care." And I mean, that just rejuvenated my soul. It made me feel good as a man. And so it's okay, women, to show your man love, and you schedule something when he just can't, because sometimes it's just like that. This is real life.
Yeah.
So forget the traditional.
It be like that.
It be like that sometimes. So forget all the traditionalism. Say, well, if he doesn't do it, then it's not going to get. Man, please.
No.
You show it too.
Yeah, you do. And then the last thing, and I know this is huge for Shelton, it's definitely probably huge for other men, but sometimes you have to schedule sex too. Sometimes, I'm tired sometimes. For real. Women,
I'm tired.
We hear this all the time from women, because, women, we always say, "I'm tired of
my head hurt."
But for real, we be tired sometimes.
Yeah.
And sometimes if you have a schedule where you just tired, that need for him doesn't go away. So even if you have to say, "Oh, well, it's Monday, I know by Wednesday or Thursday he gonna need something," go ahead and take you a bath, put on something nice, smell good, be ready.
And try to take a load off on Tuesday.
Yeah, right. That's very important. Yeah.
The day before. If Wednesday is coming and it's going to be about that time he's going to, want some love.
Oh, the Tuesday before.
Yeah. So Tuesday,
okay.
Go ahead that night before and say, I'm going to go to bed and get some rest. Or don't do all the cleaning on Tuesday or etc. Take some time for yourself so that you have something to give. And the same thing for guys. You have to make sure you cut that time out where you save something for your wife. You have to save some of yourself. And I had to learn that myself. And it's hard to do sometimes. It's hard, but sometimes you have to save yourself just a little bit so that you hadn't spent time with her in a while, you haven't taken her to a movie, you hadn't had pillow talk in a while. Well, instead of working those extra hours to do extra good on that project, how about say my wife is more important than this project, and say I'm going to go to bed tonight.
You still owe me a movie, by the way.
Do I?
Yes.
No, you didn't want to watch. I went and got a movie. You didn't want to watch it because you said it was.
I wanted to go to girls trip.
Okay. Guys, take your women out to their sappy, soupy love movies, okay? You can't always watch robot men fighting in action movies and stuff, horror flicks like I like to watch.
Yeah.
You got to watch this love junk. I will let you watch this chick flick thing, whatever you're trying to watch. What is it?
Girls Trip. I don't think it's a chick flick, though.
Okay, whatever. We're going to watch Girls what?
Trip.
Girls Trip.
Except
y'all
I'm
pray
taking
for me.
My man with me. So it's...
I love you, baby. I'm going to watch Girls Trip with you. Anyway, that's the 5 points, guys. Time is so important. Schedule the time. Check your maturity, both him and her. Check your values and check your relationship.